taking place?
Usually when we have our skull sessions, we do stuff like that.
How do you see this offensive line being different, or is it going to be similar from a year ago? What's different about it?
I think the biggest thing is to not compare ourselves to last year. Like I was saying with the defense, and I know it sounds monotonous, but at the end of the day, I feel like when you compare yourself, you don't give yourself the chance to be unique and the chance to truly explore how great or you can be. So I definitely think this year, one thing that we're doing well is spending a lot of time off the field, and I think that connection will be great.
Can you kind of talk about what you've seen as far as the development of Stetson Bennett and what it's been like, being with him for as long as you guys?
I think one thing that Stetson has grown a lot in is I don't want to say maturity because he's always been mature, but just his leadership intangibles. Picking guys up when they're down, or telling guys lean on me, or spending time after practice when it's 7 o'clock and nobody else wants to be there. Like, hey, let's go throw balls together. Hey, let's get a couple snaps. Those type of things. And he truly does, lead. And leading isn't always rah in your face, but the guys around respect him. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I just feel like he's doing the little things right, watching extra film, studying mistakes that he made last year so he doesn't make them again. I think those type of things will carry him.
Cedrick, has NIL been a life-changing thing for you personally? And
life-changing how?
It just, you're making a lot of bank. Is it just? So that's what I mean. Is it been life-changing? Like you can go out and buy a car if you want to on your own?
Nah, but I think.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's not really important. I think ultimately our goal is to win. So it's like, would it be nice? Yeah, of course. But ultimately, if my team's winning, I'm happy.
Well, what I wanted to say is on the flip side of that is people like Stetson and I think Brock and certainly Bryce Young and some others are pulling some serious bank.
Yeah.
How does that land in the locker room? How do you handle that? It's like,
what, I'm supposed to be mad that the guy's making money? Like,
yeah.
No, like, you're happy for him. Like, ultimately, like, if this is somebody I call my brother, how can I possibly point a finger and get mad at you for taking advantage of an opportunity? Like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Our goal is to win, and great. I hope we could make $10 million or whatever it may be, but ultimately we want to win, and that's my brother. So I don't think you can allow that to be a determining factor for anything in life.
Do you spend any time? Yeah, I was going to say, do you spend any time pursuing it or
what, NIL?
NIL, yeah,
personally,
yourself,
yeah. I kind of have let my dad deal with that a bit, but personally, I don't spend much time because ultimately my obligation is to Georgia football to help us win.
If you think will help you this year in terms of what it takes, whatever, what do you think?
Being humble and working hard, I think that's the biggest thing. Excuse me. That's the biggest thing for us to focus on is just making sure that we don't take small things for granted. Making sure you run through the line. Don't pull up at the 49. Don't.
Would you say don't pull up at the 49?
You know what I'm saying? Like you're running through the line. Don't pull up a yard before. Don't show up to meetings 30 seconds before it starts. Focusing on the small things are definitely some of the things that I think that we took from last year, something that we can continue to build on because I think those small, intricate details ultimately carry you to where you want to be.
Did you see that in the past, whether it's with you or a team that you were on?
Personally, no, not at Georgia, but I think to act like that's not human nature would be not wise of us.
What does Cochran mean to you, the program in the locker room as a
Love Coach Cochran. Coach Cochran is an incredible man and an incredible leader. And he is somebody who genuinely cares about his players. And I can honestly say that, Coach Cochran, I know in the media sometimes a lot of people see him, it sounds like he's yelling or whatever, but when that man speaks, God respect him because at the end of the day, he cares about his players and, he means a lot to our team. I think a lot of times during spring, when times got tough or the workout was hard, I think there was a lot of times that he helped us get through, like, hey, like, if you want to win, this is what it's going to take. So I definitely think Coach Cochran means an unbelievable amount to this team.
You saw that he was celebrating a year sober on July 4th. What did that mean to you?
I was so proud of him because Coach Cochran is somebody I've spent a lot of time talking to in the office, about life. So, to see him make those strides and to, better himself, I was genuinely happy. I was honestly happy, and I couldn't be more proud of him. I posted on my social media and everything because that's somebody that I genuinely care about.
Sedrick, Coach Smart talked about combating the complacency, and saying that the guys that are still here maybe haven't necessarily accomplished anything. How do you, obviously you were a 15-game starter, you were a national champion. How do you kind of put that behind you and not get complacent as you go into, your second season trying to repeat it?
I think being humble is one. So I have two answers for that. Being humble is one. I think understanding that in order to win a national championship, a lot of things have to go right. And it's not to discredit the hard work or anything that you put in, but understanding that, God plays a big part in that, and, a lot of things have to go your way. So I think understanding that. And two, I would also say just being competitive. I think it would be very uncompetitive to try and lean on something that's happened in the past instead of embracing the challenge of this is a new season, this is a new game, this is a new team, and understanding that, that championship ring can help you win a game.
I know you said you don't want to compare this year's offensive line to last year's offensive line, but looking at the things that y'all did last year, where do you want to be better, personally and as a unit?
It's a good question. Personally, I feel like I want to do a better job of just leading guys on the team, and I think last year I was a lead by example kind of guy, and I played my part when I needed to. If there was a guy that was down, hey, uplifting guys. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can to try and lead this team and lead my unit. I think I'll leave it there.
What are some things that you think people might not know about Stetson and Nolan that you want to share?
That's a good question. About Stetson and Nolan. I'll say this, I think they both care a lot about their appearance. And I think a lot of people may not recognize that football players do care about their appearance, because it ultimately, you want to make your mom proud, you want to make your family proud, and, if you're showing up in the media with 4X pants and you're 180, then it doesn't look pretty good.